So students, I am here again with my another topic, that is introduction to respiration. Introduction to respiration. This is under life process chapter. There are all the processes that is very much important in our body. Among them, respiration is one of them. So first of all, you should know that what is respiration. Respiration is the oxidation of food. Oxidation of food. Now that means respiration starts after digestion only. After digestion, respiration procedure has been started. So after digestion means in our food there are three nutrients: carbohydrate, fat and proteins. Carbohydrate gives energy, as you know. Protein helps in growth of cells and repair of cells. Fat also stores energy. So this energy, after taking food from the nutrients of food, we are having energy. How it is possible? That is through respiration. We will know that gradually. First of all, let me say that the animals and living beings are having different respiratory organs with the atmosphere. That means in the atmosphere they are living, that is actually dictate what respiratory organ should be there. So first of all, let's start with the lower organisms. Let's start with lower organism. Here we are writing organisms and their respiratory organs. Okay. So organisms, first we are taking sponges, coelenterate, then flatworms. So these are some lower organisms. Their respiratory organ is body surface. From body surface itself they respire. Then after this we are having after sponges and coelentrates and flatworms, now we are having earthworm. The respiratory organ of earthworm is moist cuticle that is present in their body surface. Then after earthworm we are having insects. Insects are having tracheal tubes. Okay, insects are having tracheal tubes. Then we are having aquatic, amphibians and terrestrial, mollusks. They have gills. Okay. Now till now we you can see that gradually the organs are gradually becoming developed. As we are going gradually towards the higher level of organisms, the organs are also going to be developed. Now after this we are having again organisms and organ. Okay. So till now we are discussing about the lower graded organisms. After aquatic amphibians and terrestrial mollusks, there comes fish. Okay, fish. As you know, fish is having the respiratory organ, that is gills. Now after fish there are amphibians, where also gills and sometimes lungs also. Okay. Now here it comes reptiles, birds and mammals. Here you can see lungs, the respiratory organs. So the lowermost respiratory organ is body surface, and the highermost, the most developed respiratory organ is lungs. As you can see, through evolution, not only the organism have been evoluted, but the organs are also have the series of evolution. So we are having the lowest developed body surface, and then we are having the highest developed lungs also as respiratory organs. Okay. So this is all about respiratory organs of different organisms as far as evolution is considered. Now, the most important thing about respiration is we generally confuse ourselves between respiration and breathing. We often confuse breathing with respiration, but both are not same. Breathing is actually the first step of respiration. So remember it, breathing is the first step of respiration. Now there are two types of respiration. One is aerobic, another is anaerobic. Here in name there is air. So if we differentiate this both, we can say easily that aerobic is the respiration that is happened in the presence of oxygen, and anaerobic is in the absence of oxygen. Okay. Next difference between aerobic and anaerobic is, in aerobic when there is oxygen, then the oxidation should be complete. So in aerobic there is complete oxidation. And in anaerobic, when there is absence of oxygen, there is incomplete oxidation. Okay. So here complete oxidation and here incomplete oxidation. So the product of aerobic respiration is carbon dioxide and water, and here as it is incomplete oxidation of our food material, as I have said that respiration is nothing but the oxidation of our food material. So after the incomplete oxidation of food material, the end product is either ethanol or lactic acid. Now as you know that in after oxidation of our food material, a certain amount of energy will be released. That energy we use in our daily life, daily work, daily activity. So if we consider that energy, then in aerobic it is huge, that is 38 ATP. ATP you know that is known as energy currency, and in anaerobic that is 2 ATP. So you can see easily that how less the ATP has been produced in anaerobic and how much ATP is produced in aerobic, because here oxygen is present and here oxygen is absent. So this is all about the differentiation between aerobic and anaerobic respiration, that is the types of respiration. One is in the presence of oxygen, another is in the absence of oxygen, and this little thing, that is the presence or absence of oxygen, has done so much difference that the energy has been produced in aerobic is much higher than the energy is produced in anaerobic. Okay. So till now we have discussed about organisms, their organs of respiration, then the types of respiration. Now we will discuss about the procedure, general procedure of respiration. It is very easy to understand. I am just discussing the easiest way to understand. Then after that we will certainly go to the complicated way. But now first of all we should know how it has been happening in a very simple language and simple procedure. So when we are talking about respiration, in the full procedure there are 3 steps. First is external respiration, next is internal respiration, last is cellular respiration. Okay, these are the 3 steps. So when we are talking about external respiration, that means it has been happened externally. So external means the environment and our body. Body means the respiratory organ of our body, that is lungs. The alveoli of lungs actually are responsible for the gaseous exchange. In respiration, when the gaseous exchange is happened, the main responsible organ is alveoli of lungs. So in that case what happened? In environment, the air that is coming from environment is high in oxygen and low in carbon dioxide. And in our lungs is getting the deoxygenated air from the whole body. So here high in carbon dioxide and low in oxygen. High in carbon dioxide and low in oxygen. Okay. Now you can see that in environment there is high oxygen and in lungs there is low. So according to the simple law of diffusion, the low area, from the low area oxygen should go to the from high area the oxygen should go to the low area. So from environment the oxygen will be transferred to the lungs, and in the same way, with the same law of diffusion, carbon dioxide will go out to the environment, because carbon dioxide is high in lungs and low in environment. That is why carbon dioxide is going outside to the environment with the simple law of diffusion. So this is the simple procedure of external respiration. How lungs is taking gas or gaseous exchange from with the environment. Okay. Now in internal we are having lungs. We are having two steps. First steps, lungs and blood. So now from this, lungs is now having high oxygen and blood is having low oxygen. In the same way, blood is having high carbon dioxide and lungs is having low carbon dioxide. Okay, because lungs has taken the oxygen from the environment and carbon dioxide is less in lungs. Okay. Now again, with the simple law of diffusion, from lungs, as it is having high level of oxygen, the oxygen should go to blood and the carbon dioxide should go to lungs again. Okay. So now blood is having oxygen. This is the first step of internal respiration. Now in the second step, here we have blood and tissues or cells. Now in blood, now we are having high level of oxygen and low level of carbon dioxide, and tissues are having low level of oxygen. Why tissues are having, why cells are having low level of oxygen? Because in the previous, let's assume that in the previous respiration it has given its oxygen to the blood. So now not blood, to the it is used in respiration for the oxidation of food. Let's assume that. So now from blood is having higher level of oxygen and tissues is having lower level of oxygen. Now from higher to lower, again the oxygen will be exchanged and carbon dioxide will be exchanged to blood again with the simple law of diffusion. Now tissues and cells are having oxygen. So again let's recap. First of all, what will happen? Environment is having high level of oxygen and lungs are having lower level of oxygen. Simultaneously lungs are having high level of carbon dioxide and environment is having lower level of carbon dioxide. And with the simple law of diffusion, now from environment the oxygen should go to the lungs and from lungs the carbon dioxide should go to the environment. Now lungs is having oxygen. Then in internal respiration, first step, lungs is having oxygen now. Now blood is having lower level of oxygen. As lungs is having higher oxygen, it will flow oxygen to the blood. And as in the same situation, blood is having high level of carbon dioxide, it will give carbon dioxide to the lungs. This is first step. In second step, now blood is having oxygen. Now blood is having oxygen, but tissues and cells are having low level of oxygen. Why? Because it has utilized the oxygen in the oxidation of food. So now it is having lower level of oxygen. Now blood is again giving the oxygen to the tissues and taking carbon dioxide from the tissues. So till internal we have done. Now we should move on to cellular. Now in cellular, let's have one cell. Okay, let's imagine this is a cell, this is blood, this is tissues, now they are giving oxygen to the cells. Okay, now after taking food, after digestion, this cell is also having the last food product, that is glucose. Okay, so after digestion the cell is having glucose also. So now the cell is having oxygen, the cell is having glucose also. Here the oxidation process has been happened. That means here we can see how oxidation of food has been occurred, because glucose is reacting with oxygen and it is oxidized, and after oxidation it will give the end product carbon dioxide, water and ATP, the energy currency. Now these carbon dioxide will again move on to tissues, and the certain amount of water will be used in the cell and other should be released, rest should be released, and ATP, the energy currency, is here. In this procedure there are some organelles of cells which is helping the cell, that is cytoplasm, mitochondria. They are the main organelles which will help in oxidation of food or respiration. Now you can understand how the total procedure has been happening. First external, then internal, and then cellular. Here you can see clearly why respiration is called the oxidation of food. Here you can see that oxygen is there and glucose is also there. Here the oxidation has been happened and it will give the end product carbon dioxide, water and ATP. Why carbon dioxide and water? Why not ethanol and lactic acid? Because oxygen is present here. So this is aerobic respiration. That is why the end product is this. So in this session we have learned about what is respiration, about the organelles or organisms, about the organisms and their organs, respiratory organs, from the lower level to the higher level. Then we have learned about the differentiation between aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Then general guidelines of the procedure of respiration, external, internal and cellular, and there we have learned that why respiration is called the oxidation of food material. So this is all about the introduction to respiration. In my next session we will go little bit complicated procedure of respiration. Till then, bye. Have a nice day.